guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome back to another Doctor Who video. Now, with Doctor Who Day fastly approaching, as I am currently filming this the day before Doctor Who Day, the 22nd of November. Doctor Who Day is tomorrow, on the 23rd of November, so yeah, I thought I'm going to go ahead and release a ton of Doctor Who videos and Doctor Who content, as it is quite fitting for the Doctor Who Day weekend. So, let's start off by having a little look at something which is kind of concerning the new series and the future of Doctor Who. Now, in the last couple of videos, I have explored the idea that maybe Russell T Davies could be leaving Doctor Who. Now, I mean like leaving as the showrunner and kind of, you know, maybe bowing out after this the 2026 Christmas special. So, we're going to go ahead and have a little look at a couple of different things and just have a look and see what the possibilities could be, and just a load of other Doctor Who news that I sort of threw into this video, and anything kind of related that I threw into this video as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and have a look. So the first screenshot I have right here is from Deadline, which pretty much says, finding another American buyer for Doctor Who will be tough going. The ex-Disney source adds, while striking piecemeal striking piecemeal deals across Europe and Latin America may prove difficult for a show that is ultimately quintessentially British. Yeah. Now, what I will say about this is, yeah, I kind of agree that Doctor Who definitely needs to get popular again in Britain before we can look at, you know, diving out kind of into the worldwide range. Yes, Doctor Who does need to go worldwide if it wants to grow, like, outside of the UK, but we need to get it good in the UK first. Like, we need to get back that sort of, you know, that presence that Doctor Who used to have back in the UK. There's a lot of other shows that carry a presence, and Doctor Who's presence is probably slightly not like fading, but it's definitely not as in the public eye as it once was. So getting that back would definitely be the first step. How do you suddenly convince a buyer to take Doctor Who when it hasn't been on their platform for so long? The source questions. So yeah, this is kind of saying who wants Doctor Who. Now, realistically, for a company, Doctor Who is going to be one of them shows that will be one of them, like, hit or miss kind of purchases. As you can see with Disney, I mean, we pretty much know at this point that Disney is pulling out of Doctor Who and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, the idea that another platform's going to come and want this, I think it's going to be a bit of a gamble for any platform to go ahead and stream Doctor Who. But the one thing that they will definitely need is a back catalogue. They need the full series. They need everything. And that is going to be an essential part to Doctor Who, because it is one of them shows that, yes, you can jump on at certain parts, but a lot of fans do want to, you know, they want to see Doctor Who, but they want to watch, you know, back. They want to go back to some of the earlier episodes and rewatch them. Kind of like what I'm doing right now with rewatching not rewatching, actually watching the entire classic era of Doctor Who for the first time in my life. Yeah, I've been a Doctor Who fan for so long, like genuinely a long time Doctor Who fan, and I very familiar with the, you know, 2005 onwards, you know, TV movie, Paul McGann TV movie, all of that kind of stuff, very familiar. Watched them episodes like 100 times each, I'm not even gonna lie, and I've never really thought to go back and binge the entire classic era, so that's kind of what I'm doing right now over on the shorts part of this channel. So yeah, go ahead and check that out if you're into the Doctor Who classic era, or, you know, just want to watch some short form content about classic Doctor Who. Go ahead and check that out. But yeah, this piece really is just saying that, you know, it's not certain that people are going to want to take Doctor Who on as a franchise. But I think, you know, the biggest selling point that Doctor Who kind of has as its own, like, thing is how long it's been going on for. This show has been going on for 62 years tomorrow. So, yeah, pretty big fucking deal when it comes to sci-fi shows and shows in general, really. You know, it's got longevity. So, really, really cool. Anyway, so as we did talk recently about Ncuti Gatwa doing some pretty questionable things whilst being the Doctor, and how he may not be the best brand ambassador for the show, I thought it's only fair to show the other side, because I did kind of agree with some points of it, but I don't think Ncuti Gatwa was completely, you know, that he didn't care about the show at all. Absolutely not. You know, this guy really, really cared about the show. And it's present with when fans have met him. Like, from what I've heard, everybody who's met him has said that he's like a really, really genuine, nice person, and just like, yeah, he loves talking about Doctor Who and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, that is kind of like a whole other side to this. So we're going to go ahead and check the other side of the story as well. And I think that I am going to, you know, probably agree with some bits and disagree with other bits, but that's completely fine. So this part right here from Radio Times says, Ncuti Gatwa was the perfect ambassador for Doctor Who. His early exit changes nothing. Okay, so I feel like there's two parts to this. Perfect ambassador, absolutely not the perfect ambassador for Doctor Who. Like, there's a lot of people who have been better brand ambassadors for Doctor Who than Ncuti Gatwa, 100%. But I also think, on the other side, we need to give him time. You know, we need to wait and give time to Ncuti to see if he continues to, you know, meet Doctor Who fans and shares that same energy as when he was the Doctor. Because you got to remember, you have people like, for example, Matt Smith, who went on to play, you know, really, really big roles, like in House of the Dragon, for example. Really, really big, famous role that Matt Smith was obviously a huge part of. And even then, he still, in interviews, mentions Doctor Who. He still mentions how much he loved playing that character, and how that character sort of almost became a part of him. So it'd be interesting to see whether Ncuti sort of carries that same energy for his role as Doctor Who, or whether he kind of tries to push it under the rug as like something that he wasn't fond of. So let's definitely wait and see how it plays out before we, you know, label him the perfect brand ambassador, or, you know, label him a terrible brand ambassador, because, you know, realistically we don't have enough time to know at this current time. Gatwa beautifully embodied the Time Lord's values, yes. And again, I do agree in some parts. There are some parts of Gatwa's era where he felt very much like the Doctor, but there's also equally some parts of Gatwa's era where he really didn't feel like the Doctor. Like, for example, there's like one scene, I think, in the Robot Revolution where he's completely okay with killing off somebody and essentially killing somebody just because his values didn't align with that person, which, again, just doesn't feel like the Doctor at all, really. I mean, even, like, you know, in past episodes of Doctor Who, you can have the Doctor absolutely hate a character, but he refuses to let the character die. And actually, that's just part of the Doctor. For example, you know, the 10th Doctor with Davros. You know, Davros is the creator of the Doctor's arch nemesis, the Daleks. And when Davros was crying out, he wasn't even crying out for help, he was almost there, and he was about to die, the Doctor came along and was like, come with me. And that's like, again, one of them fundamental elements of the Doctor, that he really doesn't let people just die, or he doesn't kill people particularly unless there is literally zero other option, which in this situation, in the Robot Revolution, 100% there could have been some other option in there. And then to just sort of laugh and mock the death, it just didn't feel very Doctor-y to me, personally. And I don't know whether you guys have any other, thoughts on that, but yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you do. Anyway, again from Radio Times, it says, I don't know why it's been said that Ncuti Gatwa wasn't a good ambassador for Doctor Who. Yeah, there's certain parts that don't even, like, offend or piss me off, but I could see why, like, if a mother or a father was, getting their kids into Doctor Who, having, like, the Doctor smoking on set and whatever, and making, like, these, like, weird sexual remarks and stuff. Yeah, I get it, like, this could be, like, Ncuti Gatwa's humour and all of that kind of stuff, but it just doesn't feel 100%, appropriate. And actually, one thing I do gotta commend a lot of Doctor Who YouTubers on right now is that they are calling this out, like, 100%. Again, even if it is just humour, like, there is a time and a place for that kind of humour, and Doctor Who and surrounding Doctor Who is probably not that time or place. Could it have been because he did the occasional sexy photo shoot for a magazine cover? Yeah, I don't really think that is particularly what people are annoyed about. I think it's more the what was posted online type of thing, and a couple of, like, interview stuff. I did go over it all in another video, so go ahead and check that video out if you haven't already, or you just want more information on this specific subject. In response to that, I can only feel sorry for those who didn't... Okay, so yeah, this is basically just somebody who, this person is obviously trying to go against the idea by picking anything up and throwing it at the wall and hoping that it somehow sticks. Which is an interesting approach. Personally, not what I would have done. I would have trying to find some logical points and put them towards, put them towards something to where it could combat the points. Maybe try to... But then again, how can you really combat, the sources that we, looked at in the previous video? I don't know. What I will say as kind of a closing statement on this, do I think Ncuti Gatwa was a terrible brand ambassador for Doctor Who? A terrible ambassador for the show? Absolutely not. I don't think he hated the show. Absolutely not. I think he enjoyed playing the Doctor. But I think mainly the one thing that did get him to leave was the uncertainty of the role. Like, he's a relatively young actor. And, why would you want to close yourself off to other roles to kind of hope that this role stays? And it's all very, very dependent on, like, the decisions of Disney and Russell T Davies and all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's kind of what I think on that. Do I think he was the best ambassador? Absolutely not as well. Like, I don't think that Ncuti was the best ambassador for Doctor Who. I think he sort of lies somewhere in between, but some of the other Doctors, in my opinion, did a better job so far at this current time. So, yeah. Let's go on to the next one right here. So, this part right here says, Russell T Davies and Bad Wolf are really pushing for Pete McTighe to take the reins, and I think the BBC aren't so sure and are very much leaning towards bringing in somebody new. Okay, so at this point we have this first part which kind of suggests that Pete McTighe is going to essentially take over from Russell T Davies as the new showrunner. I'm not 100% sure how I particularly feel on that, because the episodes that he has written for Doctor Who so far, I wouldn't say they're my favourite episodes, but I wouldn't say they're like the most trashy episodes either. Like, there are worse episodes, but there are also many, many better episodes than the ones that he has specifically written. The thing that I think will really, really sort of arc my decision on whether I think Pete McTighe could be the next Doctor Who showrunner, and whether I think he would be a good Doctor Who showrunner, would be his work in The War Between the Land and the Sea spin-off series that is going to be airing literally within the next couple of weeks or whatever. So, yeah, I want to see how he handles this. I want to see how he handles the series, and, you know, yeah, how he handles a series from start to finish. And I think that is going to be the big decider for me on whether I think he would be a good showrunner or a bad showrunner. So, next right here we have Jack Thorne's name was being thrown around also, I believe. So, I'm not really familiar with who Jack Thorne is. But yeah, very, very interesting that we have multiple names being thrown around. Here we have another article right here. So this must be, obviously, Jack Thorne. So, his Dark Materials writer, Jack Thorne, almost wrote for Doctor Who. So, okay, this is actually giving me a little bit of information as well. So, it looks like he almost wrote for Doctor Who. What happened? He revealed on Twitter he was let go from Stephen Moffat's first run on the series. Okay, so I'm guessing his ideas didn't align with that of Stephen Moffat and he was like let go or something. That's kind of what I get from that. He responded by saying that he had tried out for Stephen Moffat's first series, which aired in 2010, and saw the beginning of Matt Smith's time as the Doctor. Thorne was assured that there was no hard feelings over the parting of the ways, but he just couldn't get it right. Okay, yeah, and I've got to admit, you had to have a very specific style of writing for Matt Smith's first series. It was very, very fairy tale and magical feeling. So yeah, I think it could maybe his writing wasn't particularly of that style, and Stephen Moffat said, okay, maybe this doesn't really fit in with this first series, so we're gonna just sort of cut it loose. So yeah, that could be definitely a possibility for that. So yeah, as of right now, I would say the most probable person for being the new showrunner at this current time would be Pete McTighe, who is obviously writing The War Between the Land and the Sea. And yeah, I just want to see how that series goes, how that series plays out, and yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be really, really good. We don't have a ton of information at this current time about the series. We know that Unit's involved, we know that the Sea Devils are involved, and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I did actually do a video on the spin-off series, and if any more information does come out about the spin-off series as well, I am definitely going to go ahead and give it a look and report on that information. So yeah, and I will actually be doing reviews on each episode as well. I think I'm definitely going to be doing some reviews on these episodes. So stay tuned, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because yeah, if you want to help out this channel and you like Doctor Who content or any other content on this YouTube channel, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the post notifications so that you guys are notified when I upload brand new videos. If you enjoyed this video specifically, then please do smash a like on the video, and also let me know who you think Doctor Who showrunner is going to be next. Leave some names in the comments down below. I always enjoy reading the comments, so yeah, drop a comment down below. Who do you think is going to be the next showrunner of Doctor Who? And do you think Russell T Davies is going to leave or stay? Let me know all of that in the comments down below. And finally, If you do want to go the extra mile and you do want to help out this channel and help me create these videos and keep creating these videos and many other videos on this YouTube channel as well, then I do have a merchandise collection to celebrate 10 years of this YouTube channel, and that collection is limited edition and available right now via the link in the description. So if you want to go ahead and pick up some cool clothing right here, just like this t-shirt which I'm wearing right now, you can go ahead and browse all of the stuff. Link is in the description to the merchandise website. And yeah, if you go ahead and cop some merch, not only are you going to cop yourself some cool limited edition clothing, but you're also going to go directly into, you're basically supporting these videos directly to ensure that I can basically carry on making these videos. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like and subscribe as always, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.